Good morning, children. Welcome to our environmental education class. And today we will be revising chapter 3, that is air. Okay, children. And now I want to explain to you that air is very important, is a necessity for us. Okay, children. It is a mixture of various gases. It is invisible and also tasteless. So today in our environment, around us is what? Atmosphere. Air forms the atmosphere for us. So in detail about the air, about the atmosphere, how is it necessity, the composition of atmosphere, then we will revise the 4 layers of the atmosphere, 4 layers of the air, composition of the air, and then the importance of atmosphere. How atmosphere is important for us, means what is the role of atmosphere in our lives. So children, be ready to follow the composition of air, the layers of the air, and the role of air in our lives. So I'll be sharing the screen, children. Please follow the chapter. Okay, children. So here we are with chapter 3, environmental education, that is air. Okay, children. So air is a mixture of various gases. It is invisible, tasteless, and odorless. No smell is there, no taste is there, and also it is invisible. Air is very essential for life as animals breathe in oxygen present in it. Okay, children. So in our environment, air is a necessity because we breathe. Now we continue here, that is the atmosphere. Atmosphere is all around us and atmosphere is made out of air. Now here we will revise and learn the composition of air, means how is air formed, how is air made, what components are there which make the air. Okay, children. So the composition of atmosphere we are going to learn about. Our earth is surrounded by a gaseous envelope known as atmosphere. We can say that atmosphere is a reservoir of gases, as it is, you can see here in this diagram, the layers of the atmosphere are shown. But now first we will learn about the composition of air, how air is made. So we can say that atmosphere is a reservoir of gases and it is a mixture of gases. Okay, children. So how it is a mixture of gases? We will learn here the gases which are found, which are making the air. The atmosphere consists of mixture of gases. Okay. Now the first gas is nitrogen. Nitrogen is constituting 78% of the atmosphere. Then oxygen is forming 21% of the atmosphere, and other gases together form only 1%. And they include argon 0.93%, carbon dioxide 0.03%, hydrogen 0.01%, and other gases are 0.05%. Okay, children. Now, the composition of the atmosphere remains almost constant in its lower layers. Okay. Oxygen is the most important gas for supporting all forms of life. Nitrogen keeps soil fertile and helps in the growth of living organisms. Carbon dioxide is absorbed by plants for their growth. Okay, children? And it is also absorbs heat and regulates the temperature of the earth. So these are all gases: nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, argon, and their work. Now comes what other components are there which constitute the air, that is water vapor. Okay, children, what is there? Water vapor. Okay. Here we see about the water vapor. Water vapor represents 2% of the air by volume. How much it represents? It represents 2%. It is the source of precipitation on the earth. It is the source of precipitation, rainfall, snowfall, hail, sleet, etc. Then comes one more component is there, dust particles. Dust particles also remain suspended in the atmosphere, and these are responsible for the formation of fog and smog. Okay, children. So this is all we have learned about the composition of air. Okay, children. So when we can say that atmosphere is a reservoir of gases, as it is a mixture of gases containing 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, 0.03% carbon dioxide, and 0.93% argon, and traces of some more gases. It is about 800 kilometers high, held by the force of gravity. Okay, children. Now, this is the diagram of the composition gases present in the atmosphere. And now we come to the next paragraph, that is, as one goes higher, as we go higher, the atmosphere thins out gradually, and the atmosphere can be divided into how many layers? 4 layers. It can be divided into 4 layers. Okay, children. And here we can see all 4 layers of the atmosphere. That is, the first layer is troposphere. Then above troposphere is stratosphere, and above stratosphere is ionosphere, and the last layer is exosphere. Troposphere layer is the lowest but the most important layer of the atmosphere, and all weather phenomena like rain, fog, etc. occur in this layer, and both temperature and pressure decreases with the height in this layer. Okay, children. Now the second layer we will learn about, that is stratosphere. What is stratosphere layer? Stratosphere is above troposphere and extends up to the height of 50 kilometers. This layer is free from all the weather phenomena like formation of clouds, rain, etc. And thus, this layer provides the ideal conditions for flying of jet planes. This layer is rich in the ozone gas, which protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Okay, children. So how does it protect us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun? The ozone gas is found in the stratosphere layer and it protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Now comes the third layer, that is the ionosphere. Ionosphere here in this layer, it extends from 80 kilometers to 400 kilometers, and in this layer, electrically charged particles exist here. What is present here? Electrically charged particles are present here and they are called ions. What they are called? Ions. And then they reflect what? Radio waves back to the earth and help in radio communication. Followed, children? So this is called ionosphere because electrically charged particles called ions are present here and they reflect radio waves back to the earth and help in radio communication. Okay, children. Now we come to the last layer. Last layer is exosphere. The fourth one, exosphere. Exosphere is the uppermost layer of the atmosphere where the density of air is very thin. It has no outer limit and ultimately merges into interplanetary space. Okay, children. So this was the description of the all four layers of the earth: troposphere, stratosphere, ionosphere, and exosphere. Okay, children. And now we will be learning about the importance of air, importance of atmosphere, importance of air. So here atmosphere, the protective blanket. The first importance of the atmosphere is that it is a blanket for the earth. Now how does it work as a blanket? Atmosphere is like a protective blanket around the earth. It keeps the earth from losing too much heat at night. It protects the earth from most meteors and cosmic rays, and the ozone layer, which lies within the stratosphere, absorbs much of harmful ultraviolet rays from sun and prevents them from reaching the earth. So as we have just now revised about the stratosphere layer, and we know that in this layer the ozone is present here, which protects us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. And what happens? Chlorofluorocarbons. Chlorofluorocarbons used in refrigerators and air conditioners are the main cause of the depletion of ozone layer. So this is very important to save our environment here. What happens? We are using all electronic gadgets in our houses, and the two most we can say very important gadgets we are using here in our house for our necessity, for our benefit. These are what? Refrigerators and air conditioners. But what happens? Because of these, chlorofluorocarbons are used, and these are the main cause of depletion of ozone layer. So we have to take care. So depletion of the ozone layer will allow harmful ultraviolet rays to reach the earth, causing skin cancer and other health hazard. So children, we must know that the ozone layer is very important for us, and for that reason we have to save our atmosphere. Okay, children, save our air. We have to keep our air pure and clean. So now this was the first importance of atmosphere as the protective blanket to the earth. Now the second importance of the atmosphere is what, children? The next importance is it maintains humidity. Air and humidity means it maintains humidity. Air always have some water in the form of water vapor. Okay, children. And this moisture content of air is called what? Humidity, which varies from place to place. When air contains maximum amount of water vapor, it is called saturated air. When saturated air gets cooled, it results in rainfall. Okay, children. So you know the water vapor which is in the air, this moisture content is called humidity. Okay. The water vapor in the air is called humidity, and it is very different from place to place. Like in desert area it will be different, in this heavy rainfall areas it will be different, and like you have read about the 3 heat zones of the earth, you know. So accordingly, in frigid zone, in torrid zone, in this temperate zone, humidity will be different. So that's why it is said that it it varies from place to place. When air contains maximum amount of water vapor, it is called saturated air. Okay, children. When saturated air gets cooled, it results in rainfall. Amount of humidity present in air at a given time depends upon a number of factors. These include temperature, location, rate of evaporation, and wind movement. So here amount of humidity present in air. So there are so many factors which depend for humidity. Factors which change the amount of humidity in the present air are temperature, location, rate of evaporation, and wind movement. Humidity content of atmosphere is more near the coastal regions, as in these areas the water evaporates from the surface and mingles in air. In the coastal area, you know, the water evaporates, and then from there, after evaporation, it is mingling in the surface. From surface mingles in the air. So humidity content is more during rainy season. You know, children, in rainy season, we feel so hot. Air is carrying moisture, and our sweat does not evaporate quickly. So that denotes the amount of humidity present in the air. So rainy season, humidity is more rather than the normal season. Okay, children. When it is not raining, humidity is less. And when it is raining, humidity is more. So now we have the third importance of the air. Third importance of the air is it maintains temperature. What does the air do? The atmosphere maintains the temperature. Air plays a very vital role in regulating the temperature of a place. This is very well explained by citing the examples of sea breeze and land breeze. You know, children, sea breeze and land breeze, this can be seen in the coastal areas. So during the day, the land gets heated faster than water. The air above the land rises and moves up, whereas the cold breeze from the sea takes its place, bringing the temperature down. So, similarly, at night, the air above the sea is warm. Since water takes longer to cool down, this warm air rises and is replaced by cool breeze from land. So this again moderates the temperature. So see here, children, in this picture, sea breeze and land breeze. So when the air is blowing from sea towards the land, it is sea breeze, and from land towards the sea, it is land breeze. So these are the two breezes we have learnt about here, land breeze and sea breeze. Okay, this can be seen in the coastal areas. Now we come to the next importance, that is atmosphere is a source of gases. So children, we have learned that how the air maintains humidity and how the air maintains temperature. Now, the most importance of atmosphere is it is a source of different gases, and these gases are so useful for us in different ways. So a number of gases are found in air. These gases are very important to us. Okay, children. Now, how are they important to us? We'll learn about the first gas, nitrogen. Okay, children. So you know that we have 78% of nitrogen in air, and this is the most abundant of all gases found in air. It helps by controlling combustion and respiration by diluting the effect of oxygen in air. Okay, children. Nitrogen is vital for plant growth and protein formation in animals. Now, next gas is oxygen. How is oxygen useful to us? Oxygen is the life supporting gas which is needed by all living organisms for respiration. Okay, children, we breathe oxygen, animals breathe oxygen, all the living creatures. Oxygen is also needed for combustion. Okay. Now we have the third gas, which is also very important, that is carbon dioxide. So through present here, carbon dioxide, children, you know, how is it very important to us? Because all the plants, they make their food by the process of photosynthesis, and in this procedure they use carbon dioxide. So though carbon dioxide is present in very small quantity in nature, but this gas is very important for plants to manufacture food by the procedure of photosynthesis, and it is used in fire extinguisher, aerated drinks, or as a refrigerant dry ice. So these are the uses of carbon dioxide gas. Now we come to the fourth composition of air, that is water vapor. How is water vapor important to us? Water vapor provides moisture for plant and animal growth. Okay, children. Then comes another gas, that is argon. Water vapor is evaporated water, humidity. Okay. Now we have argon. Argon is used in electric lamps and welding. Next is helium gas. Helium is used in weather balloons. Okay, children. Now comes the last part, that is source of atmosphere is a source of gas, and the what is present in atmosphere? Dust particles. Dust particles help in rainfall as water vapors condenses on them. Okay, children. So here we have learned about the importance of all the gases present in the air. Now we will read about the next topic, that is air as medium for dispersal of gaseous waste. So here the last importance of air is that air also works as medium for dispersal of gaseous waste. Air is a medium which is always in motion, which is always moving. Air is always moving, and moving air is called wind. So a number of forces are responsible for the circulation of air. For example, the sun may warm the air near the equator. Then this warm air then moves towards the poles and is replaced by air from colder regions. So, you know, children, sometimes we feel that air is motionless, but it is not so. Its molecules are in constant motion, bringing about movement on a mass scale. This movement is called wind. So that means moving air is called wind. It is due to this circulation of air that there is always dispersal of gaseous waste. Followed, children? Now because air is moving, moving air is called wind, and due to this circulation of air, moving of air, that is there always dispersal of gaseous waste. Okay. Have you seen smoke rising from a chimney? You can see in this picture, there's a chimney there and smoke is rising. So you can see here, it rises as a black cloud and then slowly disappears, which is very harmful. These wastes are very harmful for us. So how does this happen now? This is due to the movement of molecules of air hitting against the smoke and harmful gas particles and then dispersing them. Understood, children? This is due to the movement of molecules of air hitting against the smoke and harmful gas particles and dispersing them. So, children, this is how we have learned the importance of atmosphere or importance of the air here. So we will be repeating the importance of air once again. In short, I will explain it to you that atmosphere is very important for the existence of humans on earth. It has life supporting gases, oxygen for human beings and animals, and carbon dioxide and nitrogen for plants. The atmosphere acts like a blanket for the earth and it receives the radiation of the sun but does not allow all the heat to reach the earth. Okay, so atmosphere protects us from the ultraviolet rays of the sun with the help of ozone gas. Okay, now the ozone layer in the atmosphere protects us from the harmful ultraviolet rays of the sun. Then air also moderates the extremes of heat and cold, means it maintains the temperature. The sun rays heat the atmosphere unevenly and thereby create winds, clouds, and rains. So, atmosphere also serves as the medium of air transport for aeroplanes. As we have learnt about the 4 layers of the atmosphere, the troposphere, the stratosphere. So, here in the stratosphere layer, what flies? The aeroplanes, and jet can fly in this layer. So children, I hope you have followed the chapter well and understood the importance of air in our lives. Okay children, so you need to read the chapter, revise the chapter. Air is very important to us. You will be reading about the air and atmosphere in the next class also. So please go through and remember the importance of the air in our lives. Okay children, so thank you for watching. This is all for today. See you in the next class. Till then, take care and have a nice day ahead.